Okay, hi everyone, this is Jackie from JackbikeSG. So today this video is about new user guide. So I have some questions that being asked by customers. So I think this video will serve a very good guide for you in the future also. First thing first, customer will ask, why after I brake, the bike is going forwards, whereby if I brake in front, the bike does not go forward. That is because of the pulling effect of the bike. If you brake the front brake and you try to pull backward, it will be dragging. If you brake the rear brake, you try to pull forward, it will be dragging. So this is actually normal. Okay. Second question that they face is this thing too tight. If this thing is too tight, right, you can always open out the lever to adjust this. Okay. Same thing, this lever, on the other side, there is also a nut here. If it's too tight, you can also adjust. Another question is, the seat post keep dropping, and what is the correct height for me? Take this bike for example. My waist is here, my hip bone is here. So the height of the seat post should be at your waist. Below here, this is waist, so this is hip bone, so it should be at your hip bone, not waist, hip bone. So by the time you sit on it, you can see is that I am tiptoeing, but I cannot touch the floor with my heel. That is correct. And when I step on this pedal, my leg is not totally straight. It's half straight. So even when I pedal to the highest point, it will be at about this position. So this is the correct height if you are riding. Another thing is, a lot of people say the seat post keep on going down. If you have the issue, you need to turn the nut behind here, tighten. Okay, now it's still too loose. Tighten again. Okay, so the seat will not be turning and it will not be dropping. Okay, finally, what is the right position? As you can see from here, by doing this, my hand is lower than my heart but higher than my saddle. So this should be a comfortable position for a new rider. So this is how you start off. Okay, and this is how you aim for your leg. Okay, what else do I face for tuning? Okay, can you shift your gear when you are not pedaling? The answer is no. The gear here, you are not supposed to shift when you are not pedaling. You have to pedal and shift at the same time. Okay, another thing for new rider, I think you should know is in terms of braking. Braking wise, right, behind brake and front brake. So you must always know what is the front brake and what is the behind brake. And during an emergency stop, do not brake the front fully. You will flip over, no? You will flip over. Another thing is, if you happen to half brake, any front or rear, if you happen to half brake, right? Because now I cannot get it, is because especially when you're down sloping, you half brake, the brake caliper is eating onto the disc, but the bike is still moving forward, and it will cause a vibration on the disc. So sometimes you have the sound like a horn like that. So another thing is about folding. Okay, we pause here first. Another thing about, after a while, if the seat is shaky or what, right, you need to use a 4mm Allen key. There is two nuts here. Okay, you have to tighten them. You have to tighten them. Any other parts that is loose, for example, we turn over here. Okay, the brakes, all this. If you find that it is loose, you have to tighten them using 5mm Allen key. So how does the 5mm Allen key look like? It will be something like this. Okay, so you need to secure all this screw. If it happen to be loose, we will make sure that everything is tightened. Another thing is, if the crank arm is loose, you also need to tighten using this 5mm Allen key. But also always remember not to be too tight, because the moment if it's too tight, right, it will cause the this nut to break. Okay, it will cause the nut to break. So this is how you do it. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to adjust the gear. Okay, you must know, just now I mentioned is that you need to pedal to shift. Okay, if any gear is not right, fine tuning I think you can do, but those major tuning you probably have to find a professional one to help you do the tuning. You realize I only shift the gear when I'm pedaling, so this is one thing that you need to know too. Do not shift the gear when you are not pedaling. Okay, now that we are on this step of the bike tuning or shifting gear, the next step I think you probably will ask is, how often do I need to clean the bike? For this bike, this is very new bike, so there is no need to clean. But in the event that your bike is very old already and you have washed the bike with be it water or WD-40, that means water displacer 40, the next step you should do is to lubricate the bike. So to lubricate the bike, there is a few things that you can do. First is use a single oil. Okay. Second is use this Decathlon. Okay, you can see here this one, right, is written as lubricant, whereas this one is just a single oil. So I will tell you the purpose of this single oil later. For now, this is more suitable one. So this oil is a little bit green, so because of lubricant. So now it's very new, I don't want to do anything. You just need to pour it to the chain and rotate at the same time. Rotate backwards also can. Make sure you rotate until every joint is there. So after the whole chain is oiled already, you shift to the next gear. The oil and the chain will spread to the next gear. You shift again, the oil and the chain will spread to the next gear. And if you feel that the oil is running out, put the oil again. Repeat the process until the whole cassette is oiled. Do you need to oil this part? No need, because this part is aluminium, this part is metal or steel. So steel you need to put oil. Okay, just now I said that I want to show you the purpose of a single oil and how do you use it. So very simple. Single oil comes in when you have issue with the folding joints. For example, this one, you open up and it's really hard to open. So that means this part is too tight. If it's too tight, now that it's not tight, but I can still put a single oil to it. If it's too tight, you can always put at the joint here. There is some joint here, just put the oil here, lubricate a little bit. Okay, it will make the whole folding process easier. Okay, this is single oil at this part. Of course, all those nuts all the small nuts here, if it's rusty or what, you can always put the oil there, so it will help you keep the bike last longer also. Another thing is this part. Okay, this is the part that if here is too tight, now that it's not tight lah. If it's too tight, same thing, you put the single oil here at the joint. Okay, tight or not tight, it's okay to put. Okay, so after putting, it will be fine. Okay, finally, what are the places that you should not put the single oil? Don't put the oil at the disc brake area, because the brake caliper is supposed to clip the disc. If you put oil, it will be too loose, you can't brake properly. Yeah, I think I've come to the end of this video. Hopefully, you find this meaningful and helpful. So in the event that if you buy from me, these are the things that you need to know. And of course, last few words from me is that if you buy from me, if you do cycle at night, you need to include front light and rear light. And if you are cycling on the road, you need to wear a helmet. And finally, it's also always good, before you go out cycling, put some water to hydrate yourself and check the bike before you start riding. Just in case any part is loose or what, then you can rectify immediately before you go for a long ride. And that's all for now. Thank you for watching.